Diving with Ivan. Diving with Ivan. Diving with Ivan.
Diving with Ivan.
Honeycomb, originally from Windsor Locks, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
Lived in Massachusetts a lot of my life, but now I'm out here in Las Vegas. I've been beatboxing and looping since I was like 10 or a little kid, 13 years old, and been collecting gear for a while.
So you're live performing beatboxer, or what are you doing like in general, like?
So I do a lot. All my sets are improvisational. There's never no pre-recorded stuff. There's no like I don't like plan it ahead or anything. It's just kind of showing up in the moment, feeling the vibe out, and then going from there. You know, start from nothing. Sometimes I'll loop a beatbox. Sometimes I'll start with the MPC drums, but we just making stuff up. Yeah.
How you started? Like, what's your story? Like, what's make you start doing this stuff? Like,
so I got into beatboxing when I was 10 years old. You want to be better than your best friend. You know, you got who's your best friend when you're younger, and you're like, you got stuff you're interested in. You want to be better than your best friend in everything. And I get the last seat on the bus, sit next to this kid. His name's Christian. He's a new kid. He looks at me. He goes, "I'm a beatboxer," and he does this, like something that I can't even do. And I went home, looked up how to beatbox on YouTube, and then there's this guy from England named Tight. He did these beatbox tutorials for the humanbeatbox.com, and I looked up how to beatbox and started beatboxing more. He kind of stopped. Then my gym teacher called me out in front of the whole school. I'd be beatboxing in front of the whole school. Kind of was like, oh, I kind of got something here. And then we'd go to music festivals, buy VIP tickets to get the meet and greets for the artists and stuff, and try to show like one of these groups. Dirty Phonics from France. They're from France. They're an improvisational electronic group. And beatbox for them, and then a sound guy named Chris McGowan put me up on stage. And then
how old were you?
20.
20 already.
So I was 20 years old, and I was buying VIP tickets.
So it was your first show?
My first time ever performing on stage.
Okay.
It was like at this music festival called Bellaterra in Steventown, New York, August 2012.
Is it paid gig?
No, this was just like I was just there, and
For
some
respect.
guy just heard me, and he was like,
Okay.
"You want to do this on stage? We need something to fill the time because they need to do some changeover thing." And it was at like 3 to 4 in the morning or something super late. I'm all fucked up, and ended up doing a beatbox thing, and then there was a guy there. He ended up rapping with me. His name's Tony O'Sagan, one of my best buds now. He ended up getting me to crowd surf my first time I beatboxed.
Oh,
so I got
that's
to crowd surf, and then my girlfriend at the time, we had the old flip cam, and she filmed me doing that, and I took that video, and then I would like send it around to the promotion companies around to be like, hey, look what I could do. It was like a sick video of me crowd surfing, beatboxing, and then I got booked in Northampton, Massachusetts, at this club that doesn't exist anymore called the Elevens by this guy Clinto Redshift to play for. I was adopted by the drum and bass people for a while, so I played
Adopted.
I was like adopted by them. There was like it was like the fam. It was the only group crew that was really like showing out. I played a lot of the old school drum and bass cast, Danny the Wild Child, and then
I started my music DJing career, like my whole music journey starts from drum and bass.
really.
Yeah, I started listening to Aphrodite. You know Aphrodite?
of course.
Jungle Brothers, Aphrodite. It was like,
Amazing.
when I heard this, like maybe like it was maybe like first grade or not, like second grade or something. I heard the drum and bass in the car. My friend just played me the Aphrodite, and I was like, whoa, there's something special. That's how I started.
The energy's great.
Yeah. So sorry, what's the next step?
I still did the drum and bass for a while, and then was trying to do like local gigs and stuff for tickets. This is like my first gig. I got booked as MC Gable before, just as my first name before I even did the Honeycomb project. And then I would bring I have like a Chaos pad, and then I'd bring my microKORG, and I'd go to music festivals, and I'd bring a little Roland Street Cube, and I'd just like play at my car. And then there was like one of my homies, Gabe, was like a stage manager of this, and he said somebody canceled, so he had me come up and do a set, and then he was like I played for like 3 people. I was like at this one festival in Maine, and ended up picking the Honeycomb moniker, and then kept trying to make that happen, and I got booked as for my first gig as Honeycomb it's near Pittsfield. I can't remember if it was Pittsfield, but it was by this crew named Mad Crew, and it was like I was originally trying to do a looping project. I always trying to do looping, and it's like backtrack to the Bellaterra thing. They wanted me to do beatboxing for a second time or whatever, but I ended up like bringing a guitar back, and they kind of like nixed the second set because I was trying to do a little bit too much. But I always wanted to do like a looping thing, and I got booked for this Halloween show, and I had like a little bass guitar. I dressed up like the Grim Reaper or something, and did like Nightmare on Elm Street song or Jason or something.
With beatbox.
With beatbox, I looped the beatbox with the Chaos Pad, played the bass synth, and did like bass guitar, and then. But people always really wanted me to beatbox. People knew me for beatboxing and stuff, so they kind of would be like, "Yo, when you gonna beatbox?" While I'm performing. "Yo, Gable, you gonna beatbox? Like, what's up?" So it kind of really deterred me from doing the looping thing for a long time because everybody's just like yelling at me to beatbox. So I just went straight beatbox for a real long time, and
no looping, just
beatbox. One man in a mic, Rozelle style, like Reaps One, those big inspirations for the beatboxing, and just tried to push that, and was just doing a beatbox set, and would get booked for tweeners and get booked for sets here and there. And then I'd rap with my homie Sean Byrne, rest in peace, my homie Sean Byrne. We'd play all over the place, doing little jams and stuff at music festivals and stuff. And then there was this one group I got to open for called Moon Hooch. They're a three-piece band, and that they have two saxophone as the frontmen and a drummer, and they play electronic music with just saxophones. And I played saxophone when I was in the 4th grade. Big, huge fans of these guys. This is my first time getting to open for them. It's like 2013, and I opened for them, and I would do the gigs for tickets or whatever. You know, it's like I'll give you X amount of tickets, and if you sell X amount of tickets, that determines the amount you get paid. But I kind of would just like pay for the tickets and like give them out to my friends or whatever, because I was just like trying to do the gig and do whatever I could to like get on the show. And got this gig, and then I ended up playing for them and didn't really get paid very much because didn't really move too many tickets, and they were the first group that like took money out of their own guarantee to like give me, and it wasn't like something that was prearranged. So they like really looked out, and then flashed forward like 2 years later, they were the first group to bring me on like a 60-date full national tour, and I opened just doing a solo beatbox set for an hour with my homie Sean Byrne. We got to travel around with the Moon Hooch boys. It was a lot of fun.
So like I'm just trying to summarize everything.
Yeah.
So you've been trying to make just beatbox for fun. Somebody saw your performance, asked you to perform for free, and since that you start like getting books. You start sending your videos, and this is how you got started, basically, right?
Yeah.
Each podcast video, I'm trying to give the people secret sauce so they can like repeat your steps and get some success. So basically, what you have to stick to thing that you like first. Make this as long as possible, and maybe just find the place where you could perform or like show your skills and make a great promo video.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be your starting point.
For sure.
Right? So this is 3 steps that you can replicate.
Yeah. Force feed them it, you know? Like I would show up at any festival and bring a speaker. It was like whether I was performing or not, I'm performing. I made like a fake tour schedule. I'm going to be at all these festivals with a speaker, even if I have a set or not. I'm playing it, you know. I'd set up on the trail or do whatever just for like an opportunity just to get heard. And I would ask anybody. There was like this music festival, Electric Forest, and I would go and I'd ask anyone. I'd be like, let me grab the mic and go up. Worst thing somebody's going to say is no.
Yeah.
You know, rejection therapy, you know, just to say no on to the next one. But the thing about beatboxing, you can like beatbox in somebody's ear real quick, and then they'll be like, oh, that's dope, all right, here's the microphone. So it kind of like worked out in my favor, and there was this group like The Imagination, Electric Forest, that just from asking, they gave me the microphone, and then flash forward a few years later, I got my name on the lineup on Electric Forest, and a lot of other festivals.
Full circle moments.
Full circle moments. Like majority of the festivals that I would go to, just bring a speaker and force feed them the beatbox. Whether they like it or not, they're getting a performance. You know.
What's the biggest festival that you perform? Biggest crowd.
Biggest crowd.
Or the biggest name of the festival that you perform.
I mean, we did a pretty big show with T-Pain. Did a pretty big festival in Buffalo. It was like 4,000 people. That was a lot of people. And then did like a I'm trying to think. Some other
You
big
did
shows.
ADC or something?
We did EDC. It was at the campgrounds. Did a Guitar Hero competition. So we just was having homies.
Still.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, that was great. Super grateful to be on any of those bills. Definitely attended EDC as a youngster, and to be involved in any capacity is amazing.
I saw you making some stream stuff. Like, when was the moment that you like took off? You have like 500,000 followers on Instagram.
So I was doing the. It was the big catalyst was the Omegle videos, making them, and I was doing those we've been messing around in Omegle since I was a kid, you know, not really making these videos, but like big inspiration into doing them was my homie nephew Quinn. Over COVID, we'd be just messing with people online. He'd be like trolling people and stuff, and we'd just be doing it for each other in Discord, and then another homie who'd do it that really was the biggest pusher to actually putting these videos out was my homie Koi Adrift. We were doing it in Discord, and I didn't really want to even do these videos, and it was like he ended up recording me secretly in Discord, screen recorded it, edited a full video, put the text on. I was like, dude, post it sometime. And
it was like freestyling beatbox stuff, right?
It was just a freestyle looping video with looping with the crowd on the Omegle over there, and we I sat on the video for a while. I was like doing this post at 7 a.m. every day, post at 7 a.m. my own stuff, and it was like one day I missed it. I slept in, and it was like a random day. I posted at 5 o'clock. I was like, man, I don't have anything to post today. PM. So I missed 7 a.m. by a long shot. I was like, all right, let me just post this, not thinking about it. And I woke up the next day and I had like 100K, and I'm like, oh man, I guess this is something that I might have to be doing. So then I started filming some stuff, and then I think like I maybe did like 8 or 12 collective hours of filming, and got like I think 20 or 25 clips from just those
8 hours.
8 hours, yeah.
How long it took you to edit? Those 8 hours, like.
It's just 8 hours of. And out of those 8 hours, there's like minute interactions, and to edit one of those videos,
But still, when you have a huge clip, like 8 hours, you still need to find this and just chop it.
Yeah, you kind of can remember.
Okay.
It's easy to remember because there's a few. The good interactions are few and far between, and then also you can look in Premiere at the waveforms, and usually the one I do like a longer section of this waveform, then like it's kind of where the section is that like there's going to be stuff happening, so I kind of can pinpoint it, and then the videos come together. At this point, the videos kind of just like edit themselves. You can kind of see the cuts and stuff, but it wasn't really until those videos that started popping off. I posted it randomly one day, and I started hitting those more, and then this.
What's your biggest video? What's the biggest video? How many views?
I think it's 8 million or something.
Nice.
8 million, 8.4 something. It's either the "Are you making a song" video or this homie who's like getting really confused by looking at himself. But he spent all this time trying to make this other content be the forward pushing it. I'm like, yeah, my best video is like this one chick saying, "Are you making a song?" or something. I'm like, yeah.
So,
but I'm grateful for it. It's super awesome. Shout out Koi for making that video for me.
That's great. So you've been performing for a while, like here and there, trying to. You making good money from performance or not?
Yes, full time.
Full time. Okay.
Full time performing, definitely paying the bills for sure.
So during the COVID, you decided to make some like content stuff, right? And after that, it's like.
Started trying to. I've been collecting gear for so long and trying to do different iterations of this looping setup for so many years. And
nice. You have a Telefunken here.
Yeah, I got the Telefunken. Shout out Telefunken.
What's the model?
I'm actually not sure. It's their kick drum model though.
Okay.
But it's also repurposes it as like a secondary studio mic. But I lost my train of thought for a second. Oh, I was doing different iterations of this looping stuff throughout the years. And 2015, I had a little residency with it, and I was like running everything through a Mackie mixer, left, right out of the Mackie mixer into the RC505, and doing it that way. And then like even before that was just like a RC300 kick foot looper, and I'd put it on the desk and then route everything through that. And then it was like during COVID, I was like, I have all this gear. And I've always wanted to be able to use all of it, and I have all this free time now. It's like, how do I make all this stuff start speaking to each other? And then my friend Brightside was really into streaming, and kind of inspired me to start streaming. So I figured out how to get all the streaming stuff set up, and I just streamed off like a 2015 MacBook Pro, like for pretty much all of COVID until I got like a PC. But was just trying to figure out how it all came together, and didn't really get to figure out how it all came together until I linked up with my homie Jules Jensen, the big tech homie, kind of the secondary brain of all the operations here, with helping me figure out how to get all my stuff speaking together, and help the brains behind the Ableton looper that we've been working on for like the last 4 or 5 years. And shout out Jules for making it happen. Is like one of those guys where it's like, if you have a question where it's like, if only I had this, then I could do this. It's like he's been able to answer all those questions and be able to like mitigate anything in the way of
like optimization.
Yeah, optimizing everything and making me just be able to create like the way that I think, like in my mind, and being able to like convey and express myself in a way that I want to, which has been amazing.
So what's the wildest story during the stream, like?
I mean, the wildest story, I feel like it's getting rated.
Or the funniest.
Getting rated by T-Pain. I mean, are you talking about the Omegle stuff?
Yeah.
The Omegle stuff. Okay. I mean, there's so many things that I like probably can't even say. You know, it's like, if you know about Omegle, then you know what comes with the territory. You know, it's like the unspoken word of Omegle, and anything that you probably can think of that I've experienced, I probably have experienced that.
Like.
And then
like
some.
what?
Like, just things that I'm probably not comfortable sharing, you know, like a lot of, like, you know, I mean, this is just a lot of stuff that is not great, you know.
Okay.
A lot of people utilize that for their certain kinks that they like to get out, and it's not really my place for that. Trying to loop some people and have fun, and people really are disgusting and nasty out there, and utilize that website for not a good reason, for sure. I'm trying as I'm trying to implicate, you know, but there's also a lot of racist stuff on there, a lot of mean people. You're weeding through a lot of the bottom of the barrel, I feel like, with human interaction to get some sort of good thing, you know. I mean, just been scaring people. It's kind of funny, you know, but like I haven't really had anything too like crazy that isn't
maybe something funny, you know.
Funny. I mean, let's see here. I mean, linking up with people that you've met before, and then like going through a whole instance with them, and then realizing like you've already done it before. Like I have so many times in clips with people that like I've like a couple years ago link up with them, and then 2 years later we're like linking up again, you know. And then like, I mean, getting people while they're like in class sometimes and looping them is kind of funny. You know? But like,
and then what's the wildest, or maybe the funniest story while you performing on the street or somewhere in the forest?
Wildest story performing.
Or maybe just funny, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here. I mean, there was this one time at Electric Forest where I'm judging this talent show with my buddy Seth Word, and we're going through each person, and all of a sudden some person starts coming and running and charging at me and like kind of like yelling, and then right before they got to me, my cousin Intellect, he comes and he gets him out of the way, and security comes and he's like screaming at the top of his lungs. He's like, "It's opposite day!" Screaming, like trying to like rip his shirt off and like screaming and like trying to like get at me or whatever, and they ended up like having to like restrain him and like get him out of there. It's pretty wild. I mean, that was a pretty crazy experience. And then another one at the Electric Forest was, I was just like a GA. This was my first Electric Forest GA. I have GA bands like 2014, and my favorite moment about being Electric Forest is when you try to like stay in the woods when they're trying to like let everybody out. It's like you try to, because there's like always like some fun stuff happening that you never know about, you know. And then I just like ended up stumbling upon the staff and artist party. And I stumbled upon the staff and artist party, and it's like homies from the String Cheese Incident, from Moon Hooch, from Emancipator, a lot of stuff in like the jam band world, and ended up like in this like 6 or 7 hour jam, super jam with a bunch of crazy musicians, and that really was like the big catalyst to like me trying to like pave the way to make some stuff happen here.
What's the like 5 different advices, or maybe just one in general advice, how to start beatboxing?
Look it up on YouTube.
Like maybe like a few like things that your signature stuff, like.
I mean, I feel like one of my signature stuff is like my bass, which is like, and I studied like Mongolian throat singing in order to how to do those sounds. So that's a good bass line to start getting those tones and gutturals.
Interesting.
Yeah, all YouTube, you know.
And maybe can you give an advice for people who just starting, like doing artistry and like their upcoming artist or something, like what kind of advice could you give them to start?
I would say, well, off the rip, it's don't stop. If something that you really enjoy, it's like keep going, because it's all about like having a positive mindset and having that positive subconscious to help manifest manifest what you want. You know, put yourself where you need to be. You know, if you want to be a musician or you want to be a DJ or you want to be whatever it is, this is for anything. It's just like surround yourself with those types of people. You know, put yourself, like, go to that music festival, go to the thing, try to network, go up to the artist, give them a USB, put yourself where you need to be in order to try to achieve those goals. You know, it's like you can be a bedroom producer and just make a track and somebody hears it and you're on, but I mean, the more you can like surround yourself with the same like-minded people, it kind of just will just kind of happen, but because you're around them, I feel like. So it's like putting yourself where you need to be, and also like nobody's going to invest in you unless you invest in yourself.
Exactly.
Know? So it's like unless you like take the time to invest in yourself, take all as much bread or effort you can to put into yourself, then people will see that and then want to also help because they can see that you're gung-ho about whatever it is that you're trying to do. You know, I think that's super important. It's like really need to invest in yourself, put yourself where you need to be, and like don't give up on it, because it's like when I was younger, I mean, there's always I feel like, and it's always like you're getting to like the tier one of each different tier. It's like there's like not like a separate tier system within each one. It's like you get to like start playing festivals, and it's like you tier one of this, and then you have to like go from opening and playing small ones to playing bigger ones, and then that's like the next, you know what I mean? It's
Step
like
by step.
Step by step, you know. It's like just taking time. And a lot of homies when I was younger and I was 20, it's like, man, it takes like 10 years in order to like even see some results. And I mean, it's like in year 13 now, and finally starting to see some results. You know, it's like, yeah, there's results along the way, but like in the grand scheme of things, if you look at the whole picture, it's like stuff is like finally starting to like come together. You know, it's like it's a long road, you know, and it never stops. You know, and it's something that you love. It's like you always just got, I mean, you're gonna do it regardless of if it's like something that you're like making money from or not. If you love music, you love making art, you're gonna create regardless, because you just have like an undying urge to make stuff. So it's like just surround yourself where you need to be, and you'll be chilling. I feel like, and also like law of attraction. It's like you gotta like be super positive, and it's like knowing without knowing. It's like if you know you want to be a musician, like you know you're gonna be there. It's like you gotta know. It's like you can spend however much time thinking, or like maybe I'll do this, and like saying thinking or maybe just kind of leaves like an open end for like an indefinite amount of time to happen between like achieving those goals. You know, it's like all about being positive with your affirmations, and like knowing that like no matter what happens or what gets in the way, that you're going to be able to achieve that goal. You know, so it's trying to make it happen.
How social media helps you or not? Like,
yeah, social media is huge. Social media is like where I feel like get a lot of my gigs. I'm not like a lot of other artists where you can like look me up on the internet, like look me up on Spotify and get a good gist of like what I am as an artist. So I feel like social media's been a huge catalyst for getting me more bookings, getting me to be able to hit up people and be able to make connections and all that kind of stuff. Is huge. I don't know.
yeah, this is how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met. You know, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for social media and doing that Omegle stuff. You know, so and that's like you never know what the thing is going to be that's going to like get you to be able to be hanging out with people. You know what I mean? Like being in this type of scenario. So it's like something that you never even planned on could put you in the hot seat here. So it's like,
So like after you getting some followers, your career changed or what?
oh,
yeah,
100%. Yeah, way more gigs. I mean, I feel like when gigs are coming in, there's also perception. You know, so it's like having a big profile and having big social media also helps with certain things. You know, it's like it's huge for sure.
Okay, how we can find you in socials?
At Honeycomb on everything, pretty much. I got it on almost everything. I'm just trying to get I don't got the Snapchat. That's pretty much it. I got the Twitter.
Yeah, me neither, yeah.
You know, I got the Twitter, I got the YouTube, I got the SoundCloud, I got the Instagram, Facebook won't allow me to do Honeycomb, so it's Honeycomb Beatbox, but with the B on there. I don't know if I said Twitch, but
I'll leave the link below. By the way, I interviewed more than 70 different Grammy Award-winning engineers, producers, and I collected everything together and made a free PDF file. I'm gonna leave the link below, so check it out.